fans, welcome back to Room 237 as I continue my marathon of Italian horror and giallo films, and I have another review for you. But before I get to the review, it's been 2 or 3 weeks since I've done an Italian a movie update, so I figured I would do one here, show you guys what I've collected over the last few weeks, and then I'll get to the review. Some really exciting news is I think I've already doubled my Italian collection since my last marathon and collection video 2 years ago, since I've started doing this marathon, so that's really awesome. And I have a few more coming in, and when those come in, my Italian collection will be at 100 titles, so I'm really proud of that. Excuse me. So when that happens, I'll do like a full collection video, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, this is just everything I've got in the last couple weeks, and this is something that these are ones that you can expect to see reviews of. I know I haven't been doing as many videos as I have before in the past, but I do want to get to all of these Italian films and all the ones I've shown that I haven't got to. But for giallos, we have, of course, Murder Rock, which I've already reviewed, so you've seen this. We have Autopsy, which will be the review after the one in this video. Yeah, this is not the Blue Underground one, but this was the only way I could get it. From Synapse, we have Watch Me When I Kill. And then, from Blue Underground, we have The Fifth Chord. And then from Arrow, we have The Red Queen Kills 7 Times. And The Night Evelyn Came Out of the Grave. Yeah, these do have different covers that make them look like they go together, but I'm a stickler for older and original covers, so I switched them. And yes, I got the DVDs because they were cheaper. It's still an Arrow release. Then we have Death Walks on High Heels and Death Walks at Midnight. Again, two that go together, but I switched the covers around. And then this is a cheap bootleg I found for like $5, and it actually turned out to be something that was on my list, but it goes by a different title. And I don't think the person that made this did a very good job. Yes, I'm admitting this is a Blu-ray, and this is a bootleg, so leave me alone on my Tales from the Crypt box set, because that's not. But this says Kiss Me, Kill Me by Umberto Lenzi, but its actual title is So Sweet, So Perverse. So, because they're so sweet, so dead, so sweet, so perverse. So this is just a cheap-ass bootleg of that, but that was on my list. So then for Italian films, we have from Synapse, Demons 2. Really like the first one, and I haven't seen this yet. And then the rest of these are from Blue Underground. Hell of the Living Dead, which I've heard it's really cheesy, but I'm excited to get into it. This one I was lucky to get. Delirium. This is a different Delirium. And this is actually going to be 2 separate reviews, because this comes with the Italian and American cut, which is about 16 a minute difference, and the scenes are rearranged and re-edited, so this might be 2 separate reviews. Return of the Evil Dead, which is actually part of the Blind Dead series, the only one I have so far. This is actually a Italian-Spanish co-production. And then this is another one by Jess Franco. I don't know if this is a horror film or what. I got it because it's Blue Underground, and I know it's kind of the Italian sort of perverse story, but Venus and Furs. If anyone knows if this is more of just like an erotic psychedelic thriller, or like more of a horror film, feel free to let me know. But also has Klaus Kinski, so that's awesome. And I did make a video of this, so this goes as far back as that unboxing video. But this is from my friend Joe, aka JAmaral81. But he sent me Lucio Fulci's Contraband from Blue Underground. Not a horror film, not one of the, I forget the word for police crime films, but more of like a gangster film. So, Contraband. And then just two random movies I got that are not Italian. I found this for cheap. It's Alive, kind of like a basket case type movie. So I was actually kind of stoked to find this. And then this I was very happy to get. I found this on Mercari. For whatever reason, it's very hard to find. Add it to my American Slasher collection. This is the Code Red release of Don't Go in the Woods Alone. Yes, I know this is not a good movie, but I'm a huge slasher fan and a fan of video nasties, and I've never been able to find this, so now I have it. So that's everything I got in the last couple weeks, along with the Italian movie in this review, which is also a movie by Jess Franco, 1980s Cannibals. This is also from Blue Underground. Now, this goes by a number of different titles. If you get from Blue Underground, it's called Cannibals. It's also called The Cannibals. I believe its original title is a Mondo Cannibale, spelt the Italian way, which in English is Cannibal World. It's also known as, White Cannibal Queen, A Woman for the Cannibals, Barbarian Goddess. There's a German title for it. And I almost said Last Cannibal World, but that's a Jungle Holocaust. This was one of the infamous video nasties. It was part of Section 3, so it's actually, this was not prosecuted, but it was seized. So, and it stars Al Cliver from Lucio Fulci's Zombie, Sabrina Ciani, Lena Romay, Shirley Knight, Robert Foster, and Olivier Mathot. Music by Roberto Pregadio. Sorry if I sound really slow today, but oh, and I wanted to get the director's name that he was credited as, because he wasn't credited as, oh wait, he was credited as Jess Franco in this. Oh well. So yeah, this is the Blue Underground release, and this is one of two cannibal films that Franco did. The other one was a movie called Devil Hunter. Now, this is, and he even said he only did the cannibal films because he knew there was a market and an audience for it, but he never understood why someone would want to see those. Now, while I was watching this, one, I knew this was going to be a cheesy film. I knew going into it that if you see, side note, if you see me wipe my eye a lot, it's because I'm still having allergy issues and now it's gone up into my eyes. I'm doing what I can. Right here on the cover, 97 on the vomit meter by none other than Joe Bob Briggs himself. And I like Joe Bob Briggs. This does have good practical effects. That is one of the commendable things. I know initially when this came out, the effects were seen as unconvincing. I guess it depends on what parts of the movie. But this movie does have flaws. I mean, it's only 90 minutes. And it does move at a good pace. I mean, it feels very quick. But this movie has some major flaws. Now, this is going to be a short review. I know the first load of minutes went to that update. But the story is there's this father, wife, and daughter who are out in the Amazon. I can't remember what exactly, he's a doctor of something. They're out in the Amazon. They find out that there's this tribe of cannibals out there. They attack, kill the wife, abduct the daughter. The Dr. Taylor, Kleiber, is able to escape, and then sometime later, I think 8 years later, he makes this expedition back into the jungle to get revenge and to take his daughter back. That's the plot. Now, this came out the same year as Cannibal Holocaust, and of course Cannibal Holocaust really set the standard for the cannibal film to come out after. And yes, this does have someone going, being abducted or going missing in the jungle, and then someone going back later to find or save them, like Cannibal Holocaust. I'm not sure which one came out exactly first between the two, because I don't think, yeah, this doesn't give me an exact release date. But, so yeah, I can say the plot is fairly different enough from Cannibal Holocaust. But where its flaws lie is, okay, one, the dub syncing is absolutely deplorable. Normally, I don't notice dubbing. I don't even think about it. Even if it's somewhat mediocre, I kind of notice it but then forget about it. This is bad throughout. The editing is kind of a mess. I mean, right in the beginning, we see the boat that the Taylor family is on. And so then, while the mother's being eaten, or after she's been eaten, and Al Cliver's being taken to the tribe, he's tied to the stick and they're carrying him, we see the boat in pieces because it's wrecked on shore. But then we see the daughter inside, the young daughter inside the ship. And then we see the tribes people sort of walking along the river. And then we see her kind of floating unconscious by a fallen branch in the river. So it just feels like a lot of misplaced or out of place scenes. There are some interesting things that they do. Like every time a person gets eaten, it goes into this super up close, like just tearing the meat up in slow motion with this really interesting sound design where everything's muted except for like the mouth sounds, like the chewing and the suckling and the screams and moans of the person being eaten. But it's done through like a very sort of muted but echoey effect. So I thought that was fairly interesting. Also, the whole idea with this movie is, even one of its alternate titles is White Cannibal Queen. They've taken this white girl in and they've made her their goddess. And there's even a part where the tribe is preaching about killing the white exterminators or white intruders, whichever one they say. Kill the white man. But a lot of the tribes people are also white. Like, yeah, they have face paint, but there's some that don't. And then even at one point when they bring the girl to the tribe, there's a young boy standing there who is very clearly white. And the tribe speaks English. So, if there is a reason for all this, like maybe even where this tribe is, then I missed it. But it does kind of kill the illusion a little bit. I'm not saying you have to get natives to play these cannibals for every movie like Cannibal Holocaust did. But maybe make it a little bit more believable. Even if there's no real language that they're speaking, make it up. And also, the voice actor of the sort of chief. I guess the mate of the goddess. I'm gonna guess it's Antonio Mayans. Don't quote me on that, but whoever's doing his voice is absolutely laughable because it's this very, like, it sounds like he wants to scream, but he has to be quiet on top of just being a terrible voice actor. We're gonna have to kill the white man. We gotta go get him. Sabrina Siani plays the grown-up version of Al Cliver's daughter, who is the goddess. And supposedly, Jess Franco said that she was the worst actress that he ever worked with. And that her only good quality was her delectable derriere. Which, yeah, she is pretty much naked this entire movie. Every time we see her. And there's other scenes that feel out of place, like Al Cliver. And it could just be maybe I'm missing stuff. But like Al Cliver, they cut his arm off when he first gets abducted and brought to the tribe. He gets his arm cut off. Decent effect. And yes, every time they're pulling meat out of someone and eating it up close, yes, it looks like meat, but pretty effective. I thought it worked. Very practical. You don't get a lot of scenes of people actually open and splayed out. There is a scene when they go back years later and they find all these dead people that are lying around. There is one person that is open and all their insides and meat are splayed out. I mean, I can definitely see why it's a video nasty. It's more of a video nasty than ones like Anthropophagus. And don't get me wrong, I do like Anthropophagus. But Al Cliver gets his arm cut off. And then we see the cannibals eating his arm, or a arm. And it looks all gray and black, like it's been cooking over this fire, and now it's done. Safe to assume it's his, because it's right after he gets his cut off. And then, as they're eating it, we see someone throw a freshly cut arm away. Again, maybe I'm missing something, but it looked like scenes were all spliced up and misplaced. He's missing an arm from the elbow down, yet he's able to get up, sneak away, and then these two guys, I guess he was with them, find him, and then cut directly to him in the hospital. So this movie also feels rushed. Like, it's just doing what it can to move the story along, which I don't fault it for. And, I mean, a movie like this, yeah, you watch it to see people get eaten. That's why I don't really fault it that much. And then it's funny because in a lot of scenes you can tell that he has his arm in his shirt, and he's got like a button-up shirt on with it sort of tied off at the elbow, but it looks like it's full of like a pillow or something, and it actually looks like it has these big muscles while his real arm looks normal, almost like he's been working out his stump or something. And of course, they go back. I think he falls in love with his nurse or something. So years later, him and this crew go back. He wants to find his daughter, which now she's the goddess. And they're sort of one by one attacked, taken out, eaten by the cannibals. And the nurse characters, I guess like the love interest, when she gets eaten, it is the most annoying sounding scream I have ever heard in a horror movie. It's not high pitched and obnoxious. It's almost sounds like if Fran Drescher was screaming. It's just like this just prolonged. But still, good effects. And of course, you get speeches from like the chief about killing the white man, even though a lot of them are white and speaking English. So it kind of kills the illusion and context of the story that they took this white woman as their goddess. Al Cliver is abducted again. Or it's something, I think he finds her, but she doesn't want to go with him. So him and this other guy leave, and they have to sneak back into the tribe at night, pretty much kidnap her. And then the tribe catches them. The chief challenges him and the one other guy that's left. He kills the other guy pretty easily. He stabs him, but he kind of walks around like this and screams for a while. And it's like a fight in the water. Al Cliver gets the upper hand, holds the guy's head down, but his daughter convinces him not to kill him. So he lets the guy up and he says, "You're free to go." Then he's just like, "Goodbye, goddess." And then they walk off in the end. Which I can expect. It's an Italian movie. It's going to have an abrupt ending regardless. And normally I don't complain about saying, well, I kind of wish the movie did this. I kind of wish they explained that, like a lot of people do. But they could have had one scene of her back in civilization. Of course, I'm not surprised it ended abruptly. I'm not surprised a movie like this didn't feel the need to tie up any loose ends. I mean, if it feels like there's no heart in it, I guess it could be chalked up to just Jess Franco not really having a thing for cannibal films. Again, he didn't really like them. He only did them because he knew there was an audience. And it's certainly entertaining enough. It is. And it is the kind of movie that you watch just to see people get eaten. Just like a bad slasher film, you watch it just to see people get killed. If it has good characters, good story, good music, good technical aspects, that's a plus. But yeah, the biggest flaws is the terrible voice, dub syncing. Some of the voices, like the guy that played the chief character, or the nurse character when she's getting killed. Also, even though the pacing is fine, just the editing is terrible. And I know Franco has his own style of how to do things. I haven't seen too many. The only other one I've seen and that I've covered on here is Bloody Moon. But from what I remember, Bloody Moon was a bit more coherent than this as far as the editing goes. But I'm not going to call this a rant. It's certainly not a rant. I enjoyed it enough. I thought it was entertaining enough. It's still funny to me that every time there's a cannibal movie, they always act like zombies. Like they always hurry up and all eat someone while they're still alive, like in a group, like a zombie. I think I said this in my zombie holocaust video. Like, I'm pretty sure they would just cook and eat calmly, but it makes for a better horror movie. Is this a good movie? No, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Does it have flaws? Absolutely. But I still thought it was fine. I mean, the most important thing, were the effects good? And for that I can say yes. So it's a pass for me. So, yeah, that is Jess Franco's Cannibals, or The Cannibals, also known as Mondo Cannibale, which you'll see in the thumbnail. White Cannibal Goddess. I'm sorry. A Woman for the Cannibals, White Cannibal Queen, etc., etc. So, yeah, it's the Blue Underground release. I'm sorry, I know this is not one of my better reviews. Got a lot going on. I don't feel that great. I didn't really know what to make of this movie because I did enjoy it, but there were a lot of flaws. But stay tuned for more Italian horror and giallo reviews. And thank you for watching.